This is the Truth Network.
It's Storytime, Memaw, an answered prayer for stories that point children to God. And here's today's story with Joanne Vickner.
Memaw's camping disaster. I was so excited to go camping again with Memaw. The night before we left, she attempted to hook up the camper, but the battery was dead. So Dad brought his battery, hooked up the RV, and pulled it out of Pawpaw's shop. Then Bubba drove the golf cart, and we made trips back and forth from the house to the camper, packing everything we could think of. The next morning, I jumped out of bed ready to go, but Bubba didn't. He got up later and refused to eat. Something was wrong. We told Pawpaw bye, jumped in the truck, said a prayer, and headed out. Minutes later, Bubba started moaning. His stomach hurt. Concerned, Memaw pulled into an urgent care clinic. The parking lot was full, and Memaw couldn't turn the truck and camper around. She had everyone blocked in. A man watched as she put the truck in reverse and inched back. Then she moved forward again, but had no room to maneuver. She was getting nowhere. The man watching us asked if he could help. He was a truck driver. What a relief! With less than an inch on each side of the truck, he carefully dodged the parked vehicles and turned the truck around and parked it. Memaw thanked him big time. The doctor told us Bubba had a stomach virus, but he would be fine in a day or so. He told him not to eat any solid food or it would come back up. Just drink a lot of fluids. We filled his prescriptions and we were off again. I watched YouTube on the phone and Bubba fell asleep. An hour later, he woke up hungry and downed a bag of donuts and went back to sleep. Later, I tried asking Memaw a question, but she let me know she was praying, so I kept quiet until she asked what I wanted. And then I told her. Wham! It sounded like a gun went off. The truck jerked, the camper started swaying. Memaw got off the gas, flipped on the emergency lights, and pulled over. Every time an 18-wheeler flew by, it jolted our truck and RV. Memaw waited for a break in the traffic, got out, and noticed a blowout. She came to the passenger side of the truck and said, "Hurry up, get out, get away from the highway, run to the tree line beyond the ditch, and stay there." We jumped out. Bubba grabbed 2 chairs from the camper, and we made our way to the trees and sat in the shade. Memaw called Pawpaw, then Daddy, then 911. A state trooper arrived and made sure we were okay. Then he called for help. Memaw grabbed some Cokes and carefully headed our way. "Memaw, you just got finished praying and God let us have a blowout." She smiled. She said, "Yes, he did. And we're fine. We didn't cause an accident and no one was hurt. God took good care of us, May. Isn't he awesome?" She was right. The Department of Transportation replaced the tire and we hit the road again. Mississippi's rolling hills, trees, and green grass are beautiful. At Yogi on the Lake, I helped Memaw unhook and set up and let Bubba sleep. Then he got up. Wouldn't you know it? He threw up the donuts he ate on the way. But then he felt fine. Memaw made him rest anyway, and it was liquids for the rest of the day. Then she grabbed him a Gatorade from the cooler, and the lid fell off the ice chest. She shook her head. I spent the evening zooming head first and feet first down water slides. Talk about fun. The next day, Bubba was okay. We played laser tag and golfed. We dyed T-shirts and swam in the lake. Things were going so good, but then I cut my foot open and Memaw treated it at the picnic table. That's when she noticed another problem. The RV was leaking water. All in all, we still had the best time. I learned that God doesn't always stop terrible things from happening. but when they do, He is always with us. I can trust Him in good times and in bad times.
If you enjoy Joanne's stories, her book is available on Amazon. And her website at itsstorytimememaw.com. That's itsstorytimememaw.com. Go ahead and order it today, and thanks for listening.